We are very lucky to have on our shores some beautiful shellfish, and there's some wonderful people who bring it to the front door. One of my favourite dishes that we do here is with some of the clams from Clew Bay, and really we do very little with them except open them and add some wild ingredients just to freshen it up. So we use this prayer clam, which is very unique to Clew Bay, not as sweet as some other clams, but it has its own particular flavour, and a beautiful shell. When it's open, it's lovely and pearly white on the inside. It's robust, like a lot of clams are, and we often serve it with a mixture of clams. So we'll use the prayer clam and the razor clam. The razor clam, the foot of the razor clam is full of glycogen, and therefore adds an element of sweetness. And then to highlight this, we do some pickles, and we take some wild garlic buds, the flower buds. We won't have those for much longer as the flowers will open up, and we pickle them in red wine vinegar and sugar. Make a stock syrup first and add the red wine vinegar. So it's a delicate little pickle just for about 2 days. Clouchines are very unique to this part of the world, and I grew up knowing and eating clouchines. We picked them. My dad picked them. It was a very normal thing to eat clouchines. People would bring them as gifts to the house when they came. You know those pudding bowls that you use for Christmas for your, so that they would always come in one of those and just sit in the fridge, and you ate them as you passed it, or else put them in a pan with some butter. These grow, the clouchine, according to Bordiscawar, it's a variegated scallop, but I've had people disagree with that, so I don't know what it is apart from the fact that it's a clouchine. They grow on the rocks under sponge, and you get them after a spring tide only, and there are some very particular spots where you can go for them. These ones that were brought into me from a secret location that I'm not being told where are beautiful, and you can see that the meat is large in them, and these are so very, very tasty, and you eat every single bit of it. You don't pick anything out of it. Put the pan onto the heat, throw in a little butter. We like to use quinine butter here. We like the flavour of it very much. You let the butter froth and add a little bit of white wine. We also like to use pickpool here. We like the relationship between our pickpool and our shellfish. It's also very nice to drink with it. So any white wine. It's really just to add some moisture and steam in there to open up the shells. These round clams have a very strong shell, and they go in first before the razor clams. Leave them, put the lid on, maybe throw a little bit of the leaf, the chopped up leaf from the wild garlic, and that can go in at this stage. You don't ever need to use seasoning. There's some salt in the butter. You know, we put a little squeeze of lemon in, and you put the lid on, and you wait until the shells open. Once they're just about open, we throw in our handful of razor clams, as they won't take very long to open, and you put the lid back on and wait about another minute. Razors can overcook very easily, so as soon as they open, we take it off the heat and leave the pot for about 45 seconds, maybe a minute, and that's enough cooking on them. If you bring it any further, they will get tough. The razors like to either be cooked very, very quickly, like squid, or very long and slow. So we're doing the fast method here. And then you take some freshly chopped parsley, maybe some chervil, and throw it in with it. This is barely a recipe. It's just a way of getting these to the table with doing as little as possible.